now next step. So right now you have an email account, right? That was pretty easy. So you have a couple options here. This is the one part that I will say to pay attention. It'll probably be a little bit boring. It might sound crazy, but if you have questions, just ask. You need to connect devices, right? So we're going to set up the mail client here. All right, so when you click that, you're going to get to Mail Client Manual Settings. So you have a few options. You can actually follow the prompts for your iPhone, and that'll send over a file that'll help you configure it. Okay. And the other option is to just kind of do this yourself. And I'll show you why. So these are the settings that you need. You want to do the secure SSL TLS settings, right? Those are recommended. Okay. Now, you can use the built-in mail client that comes with cPanel. All right, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, you would go to your email account, so you just check your mail. And right here, you would just check mail. That's going to bring up a couple options for a mail client, right? The round cube I find works the best. So I always choose round cube if I am using this webmail. Okay, and then your email would show up like normal. Here's our new mail configuration file. So everything's working there. All right, but we're going to do something a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. So we're going to go back to connect devices. Okay, now what I want to do is, because this is on your domain, right? So when it's on your domain, there's some implications, right? Think about all the spam that you get. If you simply forward that mail from your server to your mail client, such as Outlook with Microsoft, or say you forward it to one of your Gmail accounts or G Suite, or any other mail client for that matter. When I say mail client, all I'm saying is the program that handles the mail sent from your server. So the mail server. So your mail arrives and lives on the mail server, and then your mail client is like your Outlook, your Gmail if you have more than one email account there. And when I say client, I'm referring to like Outlook. Okay, but what I'm getting at is if you just forward your mail to a mail client like Outlook, all that spam that you get and you forward, right, that's going to ding your domain and hurt your email like credibility. Because basically your server is now sending spam, even though it didn't originate from you. You're forwarding it from your server to other mail clients. And over the years, the whole email system has gotten so complex because there's so many different programs sending mail on each other's behalf, like Constant Contact and different marketing programs, that it really gets confusing. So the best thing to do, right, is make sure that you are controlling your email at the source and controlling that for spam, so you're not jacking up your domain, because it's real easy to get put on a spam blacklist, right? And that wouldn't be a good thing. You can get off them, but it's a time waster. So anyway, let's move on. All right, so we're looking at these settings right here. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Instead of just forwarding it, what are we going to do to set this up to load onto our mail client? First thing, we're going to open up our Gmail account, and when you look at the top right, you'll see the gear icon. You're going to click that to get to your settings, and we're going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see better. So click the gear icon to get to your settings. Once you click that, next is going to be see all settings. Click that, and once you're in here, you're going to look for accounts and import. And that's in the center here. Go ahead and click that. You can scroll down. And what we want to do first is check mail from other account. So we're going to add a mail account. So you're going to want to type in your email address that you just created. Then I'm going to make a split screen here so you can look at cPanel and the Gmail interface at the same time, because you're going to need to copy the different settings. This one, just select the bottom one. The other should be grayed out. That is just to import your email as a POP3 and hit next. All right, username. Username is going to be your email address in most cPanel setups, especially mine. Okay, now you need your password. That's why I said always keep your little notepad handy until you get it saved in your password manager. We'll paste that in. And then you need your mail server. So your mail server, you can find it in your cPanel where we started. So if we go back here, this is all our settings, all right? So we're back in cPanel where we set up the mail, and we have our mail server. So this one is mail.cornercoffees.com. So we can just copy that, bring it back here, paste it in. For the port, we are going to want to do, it's usually 995 for that POP3. Now, leave a copy of the message on the server. I do not check that because I like to keep the server clean. If you don't, you can start eating up all kinds of space on your server and you'll run into disk space usage issues. So I like to leave that unchecked. Always use secure connection, yes, select that. And label incoming messages, yes. We want to label these so we know who they're coming from or where they're coming from. This way, if you have multiple email accounts or businesses, you can easily manage those through your Gmail. Okay, so we have all that. So we have the port from here. We have always use the SSL, that's these settings here. And we're going to label incoming messages with the actual email. So let's add that account. And while that account is being added, we're going to take a quick break because I just want to give a quick orientation again of cPanel. So just in case you messed up your password and didn't copy it and paste it like I recommended on Notepad or your password manager, I'm going to show you quickly how to navigate cPanel. So this is another interface that's common to cPanel that you're looking at right now. And we're going to go ahead and navigate back to the email settings from the start to change the password, just in case you need to do that. So when you need to reset a password, right, it happens. You can just go to your email accounts. And you can go to manage and generate a new password. And we'll make sure we copy that. Okay, so we will go back to our adding account in Gmail. And we'll go ahead and put back in the information one more time. And again, we're putting in our username, which is the email address, the password, the mail server, and port 995. Okay, so your email account has been added. All right, now this is important. So now you can retrieve mail from the account. Would you also like to be able to send mail as the Bean team at Corners Coffee? Yes, I would. Okay, so this is going to let you send it from Gmail with your custom email name. So it won't be at Gmail. All right, so for your name, you can put in your name or you can put in something from about your business, right? Don't go too crazy because you don't want to like flag it as spam, but I can usually get away with doing something like this. All right, now this right here, treat as an alias. Negative. We don't want to treat it as an alias. We want this to be its own email. If you treat it as an alias, that means that anybody can send you mail to your new email address. However, when you send mail out, you're going to send it from the @Gmail that is in the account. We don't want to treat this as an alias, right? So go to the next step. Okay, same thing. We need to put in the server. right? The server was mail.cornercoffees.com. Okay, this port's 465 for the outgoing, and again, just reference back to your cPanel, right? Keep that page up. And you go to connected devices when you're doing configuration like this, and then you just go over here to where it says secure settings, right? So our outgoing mail server, SMTP, port 465. Okay, it really sounds like craziness, but if you just follow step by step, anybody can set this up. All right. So the username, again, we got to get the full email address in. Okay, and the password, let's see if it still lets me paste it. Yep, it does. But again, another trick I like is if you hold that Windows key at the bottom of the keyboard, hold that, hit V, that gets you all your recent copies, right? Nice little trick. Okay, so we got the SSL, that's recommended. We're going to keep that. All right, now we're going to add the account. This part can be a little finicky, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so far we're off to a good start. So we got the notification from Google to confirm our email address. All right, so we're going to jump back and take a look around. All right, so what we're doing now is we're going to just wait until we get our verification email from Google. All right, so if you're impatient like me, you don't have to wait for the verification email to come to your Gmail account. You can actually go back to your server, and I'll show you how to check mail through the server. So you just go here, go to check mail, and now you're going to access it directly from the server. Go ahead and hit round cube to read the mail, and there's our verification email. So go ahead and open that up. So the reason it's here and not on the Gmail yet is because there's a little bit of a lag, but that's just because we're doing things instantly. You can see it actually just popped up right here. So it's not that slow. All right, so copy your code. All right, let's go back to Gmail. Let's enter the verification code. Verify. Okay, and the other thing you want to do too is follow these directions. It says click on the link to confirm your request. So we're going to click that, and we're going to hit confirm. All right, success. All right, we did it. We have our first email added. So right now we're logged into Gmail, and I'm going to have you look at just kind of how the layout is so you know how to operate this. On the left sidebar right here, you're going to see you have your new email. So when you click on that, it'll bring it up. And then the other thing you're going to notice too is since we set this up without an alias and as its own email, when you hit compose, you have the option to send from your Gmail or send from your new professional custom domain. Nice work so far. Hit me up with questions, and then time to get verified.